Boys and girls, we did it. We are on Phonics number 17. I can't believe we've made it, but we've done it. Chugged our way through. So I walked up this morning from my bedroom. My bedrooms in my house are down below, and the upstairs part is our living area. And in the room I'm in right now, we have a big puzzle. So I thought, oh, I'll work on the puzzle. And I walked in, and I found Rashid sitting here, and I saw all of his blueprints up here on the bulletin board. Now, you have all these papers in the packet we sent home with you guys a couple weeks ago. So you should find those. But don't push pause yet, because you're going to need some other stuff first before you do that. So just hold on, listen to what I'm telling you, and then we'll go get all the supplies we need and we can get started, okay? Okay, so with all the blueprints, which actually yours are going to look kind of black and white and mine look pink because the printer I have is not very good. So when poor Rashid was trying to make copies, it didn't work very well. You'll also have this paper that talks about each of the blueprints and the words that are on the blueprint, okay? So what Rashid has done is, if you can see this, I don't know how well you can see this from there, but each one of these blueprints is a part of a town or a space. So this paper is all about like the areas, mountains, trains, airplanes, some locomotion, but also like flowers and trees and fields. This is a farm area. This is all words that have to do with a farm. This one is all about the roads and the cars and the trains and all the stuff that, get people from one place to another. This is all about, this one's all about like a house and things that might be around a house. This one's all about the downtown part, the different stores and what you might find in the downtown of a city. This is all about the coastline, the beach area, if there's like an ocean or a lake near your city. And this is all about schools, words about schools. So I'm going to move you a little bit closer so that we can look at, let's see what area. Well, let's focus on this one here. Move you up a little bit. Okay, can you see? Let's see here. I think you can see this one pretty well. So this says Town Hall. This one's a picture of a subway because remember Rashid was in New York. And in New York, they have this subway. They have this giant train that goes underground, you guys, and gets people from one place to another more quickly. Because in New York, there's so many people there that if you're up on the city streets, it takes a really long time to get from one spot to another. But if you go underneath the ground, you can get there lickety-split. It's so incredible. It's so much fun. Okay, this is a picture of ice cream. It's like an ice cream place. And you can write this on your paper too when it's time. Don't get your paper yet. There's Town Hall, there's a bookstore, there's a restaurant. And this is I think this is supposed to be a fruit stand. And remember, on the fruit stand we've got watermelon, pineapples, all different kinds of strawberries, right? So what we're doing with our town here is we are making a giant town, a giant area, using our vowel teams. So every single word that we put on our town needs to have one of our vowel teams on it. That's why we spent all this time creating these vowel teams, okay? So that's why you're going to want this chart too, to make sure that any word that you're putting on your town has one of our vowel teams on it. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? So what I want you to do now is I want you to go find, after I tell you what to get, you can push pause. You can go get these papers from your packet, get your vowel team chart. Get this paper too, because this has all the words on it, so it's going to help you to make sure that you're spelling things properly. And it doesn't really matter if you spell it perfectly, but just it helps to see if the vowel team is on there. Then you're going to you might want plain pieces of paper that you can make a giant map out of. Tape. You might want some construction paper. I have some just different random construction paper here. You don't have to have that if you don't have that at your house. Don't worry. Oops. I just made you fall. I'm sorry, guys. I made you fall. My glasses were under my iPad. Sorry about that. So don't worry about that. If you don't have construction paper, don't panic about that. You don't have to have construction paper. Sorry. Sorry about that. You might want markers, okay? So now push pause and we will we'll do our next step, okay? Bye. Okay, friends, I am back. So as you see, I have worked on making a giant vowel town here. Let me show you what I did. Let me turn it for you so you can see. Okay, so this is my town. Paige's laughing at me. I made it kind of like Burdell. That was, I mean, not Burdell, Novato. That was my goal there. Okay, so up here I have the mountain, and I named it over here. You'll see I named it Mountain, and I put underneath Burdell. I put a farmhouse and a haystack and a pool, and notice haystack has an AY. I should have underlined that. Pool has an OO. When you write your words on your vowel town, you're going to underline your vowel teams, the vowel teams from your chart. So have this handy so you can remember what your vowel teams are, okay? I did it on a big bulletin board. You probably don't have one of those at your house because I'm just lucky that I had one. At school, we would use one of those giant big white pieces of paper, and we would have put it on the floor and you guys could have written on it. If you happen to have that at home, that would be awesome. But most of us don't have that at home, right? So you could use pieces of paper and you could tape them together and you could make a town that you put on the floor. If you don't have enough paper for that, or your parents say, no, I don't want that on the floor, you could take like a piece of ribbon like I did here, and you could make like a little grid with streets and stuff on the carpet in your house, or you could use Legos, and then you could make a big grid with Legos or train tracks or something that you have at home, and then just get pieces of paper and label those things. You guys get to be really creative with this. This is your town. You can make it how it works for you and your family. So if your parents say, nope, you have to be able to pick it up. That's why I put it on this bulletin board, because I wanted to be able to pick it up at night when I was finished with it. You know, you could, like something like Legos would work, because then you could pick the whole thing up and you could move it. Or maybe you want to make it out of blocks and it's just up temporarily and then you take it down. You could take a picture and send it to your teacher and then take it down. You could use wooden blocks, or you could use those cardboard blocks. Whatever you think would be fun. And as far as I'm concerned, you could work on this for days, right? This doesn't just have to be a today thing. You could work on this for the next week or two if it's okay with your parents and you can move it out of the way. Why not? You can, especially if it's on paper, you could just roll it up and put it away when it's time to play a family game or whatever. So it's up to you and your family about how you think it's going to be best to do this. But it's a very fun activity, and I really hope you enjoy having as much fun as I did. Let me continue here. So now over here I have my farmhouse, and you can use when you're making each area of your town, you can set up your town however you want to. I kind of set up mine like Novato, because I have 101 there, I have Mount Burdell, I have San Ramon School here, I have the ocean over here, because you know in our town we have 101 sort of on the east side, and the ocean's on the west side. So I kind of set it up like that. This isn't perfect, but it was as close as I could get. And then I put Grant Avenue down here. Grant Avenue, you'll notice I didn't underline any of the words in that because they don't have any of our vowel teams. So in theory, you might not want to put Grant Avenue on there. You might not want to write it. I wrote it just so that everyone knew that it was Grant Avenue, which is sort of that main street in our town, because that made more sense to me. And then I put some restaurants that have vowel teams on them. So for instance, over here I have Whole Foods. Whole Foods has a double O. I have a train station. I don't know if you know this, but we have a little train station in town. I should underline the AI in there. I put a street light. I put Blue Barn, which is that new restaurant, because the blue, the UE. I've got Hawaiian Nails. Oop, Celine's got turned. Celine's, and our very own San Ramon family owns this one, so I had to put this one on here. Celine's doesn't have a double vowel in it itself, but ice cream does, and I put and candy, and I underlined the EA and the cream, I put Copperfield's Bookstore. Again, Copperfield's doesn't have one of our vowel teams, but Bookstore does. So I underline Bookstore. Here's a stop sign. I wanted to get that on there so you're new with that. This is Pete's Coffee. Up here, I have the whole coastline, and I have some other things I wanted to add to it because you can get really creative with this, you guys, and I wanted to show you what you could do. So let me show you a few more things. I have a boat. I have the ocean. It looks just like the ocean, doesn't it? I have the beach, and then I wrote coastline. So see how I've underlined all of my vowel teams in here? I realized later I could add a towel to my beach, right? Because most beaches, you need a towel to dry off after you go in the water. I have a sand toy, oi, that oi sound. I have a surfboard, B-O-O-A. Remember we have like boat, board, there we go. So keep your vowel chart handy here because you're going to need that. And then maybe there are other things I could add. I also added, I have Pioneer Park. The Pioneer has 2 E's. Tennis courts, that has an O-U. Town Hall, this is like our city hall, you know that. San Ramon School. San Ramon Way is the name of the street the school's on. And Way has an A-Y in it. Playground has an O-U. Flowers, like we have up in the garden, O-W. We have trees up here. I don't know if you can see my airplane. Can you see my airplane? I have an airplane. Oh, and a lighthouse. Oh, I forgot to underline my O-U, jeez. And my IGH. Remember we learned that one last time. IGH and O-U. That has 2 in it. That's exciting. We've got clouds and a rainbow. Right? So you can really come up with anything you want. Anything you can think of, you can add to your town. I want to see all the cool stuff. And what you might want to do is after you think you made your town, go back and consult this list and say, do I have most of these words up on my town? And if not, consider putting them up. You're not going to get them all up in one day. This is going to take a while because it's a lot of work. So give yourself a few days. Like you don't have to, maybe one day you spend making all the little pieces for it, all the little word labels and the pictures, and then maybe the next day you actually build the town. You can do it however it makes sense for you and your family or your siblings, however you guys think makes the most sense. Maybe if you're making Novato like I did, maybe it's not Novato to you if there's not a Finnegan's. Now, Finnegan's doesn't have a vowel team on it, but that's okay. If you really want to put Finnegan's in, put Finnegan's in. Maybe you really need to put Target in if you're going to do Novato because you guys spend a lot of time at Target. Go ahead and put Target on. That's totally fine with me, okay? This is your activity. This is your town, and you can make it however you want to make it, okay? No one's going to tell you it's right or wrong, but I want you to think about when you're making it, see how many words you can get on that town that have one of these vowel teams. And when you get the vowel team, try to underline it for me. I forgot to underline this one here. It has an O-U and an A-I. Fountain, that's a good one. See if you can get a fountain in your town. And then I put chairs by the fountain so people can sit and look at it. There's a train over there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me turn it so you can see it. I put, you know, we have the smart train now. So I put the smart train and the train tracks over by the train station in Whole Foods because that's where that all is. So anyway, I want to see what you guys come up with. I know you're all so super clever and cannot wait. You guys are so creative. I can't wait to see what you come up with. You can email your town to me or you can email it to your teacher too. My email is kchassman, CHASSMAN, @nusd.org. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Have fun creating this, you guys. This is a fun one. All right? Have a good time. Bye.